Okay, thank you. I want to thank everyone for joining us today. I'd like to start out by thanking Vladimir, Tarasenko, and Niko, Mikkola for their services with the St. Louis Blues. Obviously, my relationship with Vlad is longer and deeper than it is with Meeks, but Vladdy was drafted here and came over as a young man and grew up with us and allowed us to become champions. And I thank him for that. I told him that I wish he and his family nothing but the best as he moves on to New York and to a different chapter in his life. And also with Mikkola, you know, a fifth round.
Doug, you're accidentally muted.
That was my best stuff too. Sorry. I just want to, did you get any of that, guys, or no?
We lost you when you started talking about Mikkola.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So I want to thank Meeks for his time here. Obviously, he's a fifth round pick, playing the number of games that he has. He's overcome a lot of odds and been a good player for us. And I wish him nothing but the best with the Rangers also. So I'll just open up to any questions you might have.
Hey, Doug, first off, I want to be clear on a couple of the terms. It's a conditional first round pick. Does that mean you get the latter of their two picks?
Yes.
And the fourth round conditional, it bumps to a third if the Rangers make the playoffs?
Yeah, that one was a little, surprising. I'd be shocked if the Rangers don't make the playoffs this year, and so will they. But yeah, it goes from a fourth to a third round pick if or once they qualify for the playoffs this year. And
lastly, you retain some salary, is that right? Or
yeah, which is normal, I think, this time of year when you're dealing with contracts of this size. Obviously the flat cap over the last couple of years has made money at a premium, and we were able to get the asset, the first round pick. We were able to help them make it work financially.
So it's half of his salary. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
And that gives you some cap room.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Cap room's not going to be an issue for us this year, and obviously we won't have any penalties for next year, so it puts us in a good spot.
Hey, Doug, Jeremy, can you tell me about the objective or the challenge, if you will, of trying to find a team, a fit for Vladdy that was both someone who was interested in him and also a team that he would go to?
Yeah, well, what I talked to Vladdy's representative a few times during the year and just said that I was going to do my work behind the scenes, and then when I had something like I did today, I would take it to Paul theUFAs, his agent, and Vladdy, and they could make their decision. What I tried to work off of a couple of years ago, I was provided a list of teams that he would like to go to. So I started with that group, and I was able to find a match out of that group. So I was hoping that didn't change. Obviously, New York's a marquee city for all players in the league. So I was comfortable that when I called today that I would have been surprised if that had been an issue.
Doug, this has been kind of an ongoing thing for a couple of years. How did you manage to keep things civil, and Vladdy managed to keep things civil?
Well, I think Vladdy did a great job. When you go back a couple of years when he's coming off the injuries, and he has to be see if we could find a different spot for him, and that was a tough summer, obviously, and so we couldn't do anything there. And I thought he came back in great shape. He had a great year last year, and he's been a professional from quite honestly from the day we drafted him. That's just who he is. He comes to work. He puts hard work in the summers. I saw a video of him and his son this year working out. So Vladdy's been nothing but a pro since he's been here, and he did everything we could ask for him on and off the ice to prepare to be a good player.
And was your plan this off season wasn't to trade him, right? You were coming off a great year, and you thought, let's see where this group takes us. Is that a safe assumption?
Yeah, there's Yeah, I would say that was a safe assumption. I think we had a good season last year. You know, we were again trying to wring out another year out of this group. I think when you go back to our successful season in 19, we were a veteran team that we won as a veteran team, and we've been able to hang on to that group for 3 more years. This year, obviously, was the end of that era, and so it now it's officially an end of an era, and we have good players that played on that team that are going to be here for a number of years. And we have younger players that weren't part of that team, or like Robert Thomas, just a smaller piece of that team that now have to be center pieces for us moving forward. And I think when we made the commitment to the 2 young players last summer, we understood how that was going to affect the cap and affect decisions moving forward. And that's where we are today.
Hey, Doug, there's a few big fish as far as the UFAs go around the league. What kind of role did that play in doing this 3 weeks out as opposed to waiting so maybe you don't get caught without a chair at the end?
Yeah, I think it takes 2 to make a trade. I think obviously, excuse me, managers do their job. They see where we are in the standings, and so I've been dealing with all the managers, all the teams in the league, letting them know our situation right now. And I got a little bit I got to say, I did get a little bit nervous when both two potential unrestricted free agents got injured. It does clarify that bad things can happen, and it's no one's fault or no one's issue. So I just felt that if there was something that made sense to all parties involved, was no sense waiting to try and squeeze a little bit extra at the end. You bring injuries in, and you also bring a shrinking market in. And I think for us, acquiring a first round pick was very important, and we were able to do that.
Doug, was it going to be tough to re-sign Mikkola given your cap situation for next year?
I'm not sure cap wise, and Meeks is a really good player, but we have a player like Tucker who is just like a half a generation before Mikkola, a later round pick that has played well in the American League, that has come up and given us games that we want to see. And at some point you have to create space for players. And so Tucker is going to come up. He's going to be given a good look for the rest of this year. He might still bounce up and down, but as I said, as we transition to a younger group, not that Meeks is old whatsoever, but Tucker's a competent player at a controlled cap hit next year. So it was a combination of the unknown of a contract, and also creating where Meeks would want to know where he fits in on the team moving forward. And it's hard to really say with Tuck and Kessel and some of these younger players coming that we're excited about.
What can you tell us about the young defenseman that you got, Skinner, and also your thoughts on having Sammy Blais back on the round?
Yeah, Skinner is someone that quite honestly, we wanted just to make sure that with Tucker coming up, that we had an American League player that could go in there and support the AHL team. He's again a later round pick, just starting his career. Just based on where he was drafted, he has a big hill to climb, but he's big, he's physical, so he has some attributes that we like, and we're just going to see how that grows. I don't want to overhype or discount him. I don't want to discount him, but I also don't want to overhype that. It's going to be some term and some project there, but we're looking forward to getting our development guys working with him and moving him forward, and getting Blazer back. Obviously, we had success here with Sammy again, a later round pick, and I'm really proud of our amateur scouting staff for finding these guys in the 4th through 7th round that play in the league. Blazer's one of those players, and he plays probably his best hockey here in St. Louis. And I know I talked to him; he's excited about coming back. Craig knows him; he knows how he can use him, and so he needs to come back in here and stay healthy and play and confirm his spot in the NHL. And I think we have the opportunity to give him, we have the ability to give him that opportunity.
Doug, it's Matt Frank. Given what you said about the timing of this trade and injuries, does that hasten your decision on other guys, other pending free agents?
Again, I think you talk to managers and you have to go with the timeline that's available and that both sides want to work on. So I don't think it hastens it. We're not going to do anything if we don't believe that the return is justifiable to the St. Louis Blues. So again, sooner it takes out unknown, but sooner and not getting value is not something we're looking to do yet either.
Hey, Doug, knowing that you do your work behind closed doors, can I just ask you, do you have interest in bringing Ryan O'Reilly back?
I'm not. Ryan's our captain. I'm a big fan of Ryan. He and I talk behind closed doors, and I'm going to keep it there. He knows how I feel about him.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Hey, Doug, I'm just curious though, if you were to trade Tarasenko, was it imperative to get a first-round pick in return for him?
Yes. Yeah, we were looking. Lou, I think you go into it. We're trying to have players that can complement guys sooner than later. So your first thing is to get a proven young player. Those are always harder to do. I know they're harder to give up. A first round pick is just a number right now, but as soon as you put a name to it, for some reason, they become probably 20% better than they really are to the team that picks them. We're no different than the other teams. So a first round pick is something that I know our guys are excited to have, our amateur guys. And I think what it does, Lou, it also gives you the ability to package that and whatever pick we may have to move up a few slots. It also gives us the ability to pick that pick there. It also gives us the ability to potentially trade that like we have in the past for NHL proven or ready players. So it just first round picks are big time equity in the NHL, and now we have two for this year.
So Doug,
All right,
are
we'll
you?
end it.
Oh, go ahead.
You're on, JT.
So Doug, are you done? Are you finished trading?
Finish for tonight.
So I'll go with this.
Yeah.
Is it safe to assume that you're still looking at other moves? I'll go with that approach.
I would say that my job, the trade deadline is early March, and I, like 31 other managers, have to stay in contact and find out what's available and what makes sense. And as I said, I'm not looking to rush to do anything. And you know what? I want to see obviously we want to see our guys respond. We're not playing great hockey going into the break. Now they've had time to regroup and refresh, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they play on Saturday and moving forward. I've been in Europe now. It's going to be a 15-day trip. I get home next Tuesday, and I'll see them live.
How disappointed are you in how the season's gone so far? And could you see this coming?
I don't think to this level. I would say this is in my managing career as a general manager. I've had playoff disappointment in both St. Louis and in Dallas, where we thought we would go deeper. Really no regular season disappointment to this magnitude. So yeah, I am disappointed. I thought quite honestly we would be pushing right now for a playoff spot, which would cloud things more than they're clouded right now on what to do moving forward.
All right, everybody. Thanks for your time. Doug, thank you. We'll talk soon.
All right, guys. Thank you very much and take care.